One of the first people that ever told me, like straight up, that the best thing I could do was be my most honest self was Jim Fidler. And I remember the conversation we were talking about radio, and at the time I was probably 20, 21, and I was explaining how I didn't like listening to talk radio in the morning. I didn't like listening to boring CBC and stuff because I didn't, it wasn't funny or fun or whatever. And I liked listening to like FM radio stations in the morning. And Jim said, well, at least people on the CBC sound like themselves when they're talking. They don't put on a voice. And Jim put on his best radio voice. Hey, it's 7 o'clock and it's a great time, ha ha ha. And I remember thinking at the time, like, wow, that's true. That is true. Why would you get on the radio and try to sound like you're from LA when you could just be from Penny Harbor? That's fine. It's just as good as LA. It's just as good as anywhere else. And I just remember his, like, that little, I don't even know if he meant it, like to be as sort of the message that I heard about it. I think he maybe just meant it as a comment on which radio was better to listen to in the morning. But for me, I would never forget that conversation of going like, maybe I don't need to sound like I'm in the Kiwanis Music Festival or something. Maybe just sing like I always sang and sing about stuff I like, and maybe people will like it, And so there's in the whole say something, that's what that brings to mind for me is, that there's a value in the truth that and in the arts that, I think Jim made me look at a little bit earlier than I might have on my own. I'd like to think eventually I would have come to it, but I certainly wouldn't have come to it as quickly if it wasn't for him.